Annyeonghaseyo.
That is Korean for hello, how are you? Our project is on South Korean history and culture. The Korean Peninsula was founded by Dagon, who originally named it Chosun. Around the time of Christ, 3 kingdoms arose on the Korean Peninsula. The Baekje were mainly aristocratic, and they controlled most of central Korea, modern-day Seoul. The culture was infused with Chinese and indigenous influences. The border was a mountain range in the southwest. The Goryeo was a northern kingdom. They conquered the surrounding peoples and became large. Eventually, their border was the Taedong River in the south and into Manchuria in the east. The third kingdom was Shilla. Shilla started out as SEON-DUK, which was part of a 12-member confederacy or loose alliance. It was founded by King Park Hago-si in 57 BCE. Eventually, Shilla became one of the few kingdoms to witness its very first female monarch to rise into power in her own name. Queen SEON-DUK came into power in 632 at the age of 26, as there were no male heirs because she was born of royalty. There was nothing that could refute her coming into power. Under her rule, the Shilla culture would advance, as she was famous for her support of the arts and education. For example, she allowed for the construction of Cheongsamgdae, a stargazing temple, so that the people could be able to see the stars and predict astronomical happenings for themselves. The Three Kingdoms era ended when the entire peninsula was unified, due to the Shilla Kingdom. On September 20th, 1875, a Japanese vessel landed on Korean shores in an effort to take over the entire Korean peninsula. The Japanese wrote the GANGHWA Treaty, which only benefited Japan. After many changes to the treaty, it was signed in the summer of 1876. The Japanese won the Russo-Japanese War against Russia in 1905. By 1910, Japan colonized Korea. At first, Koreans protested, and then the protest subsided. Then the protest started again. But despite changing sentiments, the Japanese control over the entire Korean peninsula remained until the end of World War II. After World War II, the 38th parallel divided Communist North and Democratic South. As such, South Korea was established as a country on August 15, 1948, when the leader of the North, Kim Il-sung, who was armed with Soviet weaponry, invaded the South in 1950. U.S. General Douglas MacArthur responded. It was his job to monitor the occupation of Japan after World War II, and he successfully defeated the North Koreans in an amphibious attack. Simply put, the war was ineffective and Korea remained divided at the 38th parallel. However, it would not be until the Sixth Republic who implemented and stabilized liberal democracy in South Korea.
Now let's move on to South Korean foods and culture. Food in South Korea is a reflection of the nation's history. It reflects South Korea remaining independent even though it was surrounded by major imperial countries such as China and Japan. The foods there are very healthy and very spicy. It mainly consists of seafood, meat, and vegetables. The meals are very strict on the amount of meat that is within the dish. The dishes are served with many healthy sides such as garlic noodles, rice, and peppers. Green tea is very popular in South Korea. There are different types of the tea. They are called Daejok, Jongjok, Sunjok, and Yujong. Alcohol is also very popular. Most common is soju. South Korean culture. The typical Korean household is male-dominated. Academics in South Korea is very competitive, and the main fields that citizens partake in is medicine, technology, and art. Now on to technology. Gadgets are very popular in South Korea. And finally, music. K-pop is the main genre of music, and karaoke is the favorite pastime activity. South Korea's culture is heavily influenced by foreign affairs. People enjoy the United States movies, and they copy the clothing that they see. Food. And even though the food is mainly healthy, there are exceptions because of influences from America and China, such as hamburgers, pizza, and coffee.
All in all, South Korea is a country rich in culture and history. Since its foundation, South Korea has continued to astonish the world with cultural advancements like the oldest astronomical observatory. It has also experienced prosperity under its first female queen, SEON-DUK. This precedent even continues today, for South Korea elected its first female president, Gui Park, in 2012. Despite it being influenced by China, Japan, and the United States, South Korea has truly set itself apart.
created using Powtoon.